Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to another video. As you can tell, I'm in a new location. I've said that in like my past couple videos, and I've also said multiple times that I'm in my new apartment. I've been here for a couple weeks now, and I am so happy and just really excited about this place. And you guys have shown a lot of excitement and enthusiasm in my new place as well. So with my recent apartment videos, I have gotten a couple requests to do a video explaining how I saved up money to get my own apartment. And so I thought this video would be really relevant to a lot of people, because whether you're saving up money for an apartment or a car, like for tuition or a big vacation, for whatever, people are always saving money for something. And so I thought I would share my tips and my tricks for what really helped me to save money. I just wanted to tell you guys the things that worked for me and the little things that I did to save money, because a lot of the things that I did are little things that anyone can do. A lot of the things that I'm about to mention people probably already know of, but I wanted to do like a full rundown and a full list of everything that I did to help me save money. So if you guys are interested in this video, then keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and turn on notifications and all that good stuff. I'm going to have my phone open and I'm going to be staring at it a lot because I made a huge list of things that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to try not to talk too much. I'm really sorry if this video is long, but a lot of the things that I'm going to say are really important. So I recommend watching this whole video and listening to everything I have to say. I sound like a psycho, listen to me. So my first piece of advice is to just literally live at home as long as you possibly can. So background story, I am 26 years old and this is my first apartment. I graduated college when I was 22, and then after that I moved back home and I lived there for 40 more years. I got my first job at 23 years old, and my job was actually in my hometown area. It's in DC, and I live in the suburbs of DC, or my parents live in the suburbs of DC. This is where I grew up. This is where my family's from. So pretty much I had no reason to move out because my job was still a fine traveling distance to my parents' house. But I know this won't work for a lot of people because, you know, people sometimes have to move different cities for a new job, or sometimes they're just not in that situation where they have people that can support them. So I am very grateful, and I'm really so blessed to have parents that really just helped me out and just pretty much was like, you can live at home. As much as you want to move out and have your own place and just be very independent, if you can't and you're not in that position, don't move out. Just try to stay home as long as you can. You'll save money on utilities, on rent, on food and water. I wanted to move out as soon as I graduated college. When I was 22, I wanted my own place, but I didn't have a good job at the time. And when I did get a job, it wasn't enough to help me pay for rent. So, you know, as my career furthered, I, you know, got promotions, and I, you know, eventually got paid a little bit more, but it wasn't because of my promotions. It was also the fact that I did so much to save money, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I did to save money. So yeah, my first piece of advice is to, if possible, live at home. There's no shame in that. Literally so many of my friends that are my age still live at home or moved out when they were like 28 years old. You know, it's not uncommon these days because of this stupid economy, recession that we were forced to grow up in, and it's just it's very normal for people to live at home well into their late 20s and early 30s. So my next piece of advice is to have a savings account. So many people just have a checkings account, but you really need both. And what I do with my savings account is that with each paycheck I get from work, 20% of that I will put into my savings account. So it actually is a good chunk of my paycheck. If you think about it, 20% is a lot. Sometimes I will do like 15% or 10%, but no matter what, I will always try to take a portion of my paycheck and put it into my savings. And I was doing that for 3 years, so that actually helped me to put the down payment on my car last summer. So yeah, have a checkings and have a savings, and always put money into that savings account. Try to do that at least every paycheck, or at least once a month. My next tip is to keep track of your spending. And by keep track, I mean have some type of app, have some type of system where you can visually see the different categories that you're spending money on, and where you can visually see how much you're spending each month. So for me, I use the app called Mint. It's a pretty popular app. I'm sure some of you have heard of it, but it's really great because you can set budgets for yourself, and when you go over budget each month, you'll get an alert, you'll get some type of email, and it'll tell you you went $100 over your clothing limit for the month. You can also input your different bills that you have so that you can keep track of all of your monthly payments. So, you know, not only just your spendings, but also your bills that you're paying. You can keep track of it all in one place. And another thing I like about the app is you can check your credit score. I'm just so obsessed with checking my credit score. I check it all the time, and I think it's like a myth that if you check it way too much, your score will go down, but I don't think that's true because my score has stayed relatively the same even though I check it like every other week. So yeah, it's a really great app. I recommend you download it. Okay, so my next piece of advice is pretty self-explanatory, and I think most of you already know this or have heard this from people before, but if you want to save money, you really just got to spend on things you need to live. So looking at the wants and the needs. In the wants section, I placed all of my like going out for food, going out to the bar, going out to the movies, or like all that extracurricular stuff that you do. You really just have to sacrifice a little bit and just try not to go out so much. You don't think you're spending a lot when you go get a $10 meal with your friend, but really when you do it so much, it adds up. When you go to the bar, drinks first of all are just way too expensive, and also the Ubers or the Lyfts you get because you don't want to drive drunk. And then going to the movies, that's so expensive, like the food, like just a lot of that extra stuff. It's really fun, but it really adds up. Honestly, if you just cut all of that out for like a month, you're saving like a couple $100. So that's why, going back to my previous tip, having some type of like record where you can keep track of how much you're spending each month. If you do that for a month, you'll see how much money you're spending. So alternatives are to obviously cook at home, eat your leftovers. Don't order Uber Eats or Postmates when you have food in the fridge to eat. Instead of going to the bar, go buy a bottle of wine, because literally a whole bottle of wine is like half the price of a glass of wine, at least in the DC area. Have movie nights with your friends instead of going out to the theater, you know, watch Netflix, rent a movie for $2 on Amazon Prime, or just, there's so many alternatives that you can do to like stay at home and not have to spend all that money going out. And so relating to that, also coffee. Yes, I know we are all coffee lovers. We love our Starbucks, we love our Dunkin' Donuts, but we don't love those $5 prices for 1 cup of coffee. A couple years ago, I was getting Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts like 4 days out of a 5-day work week. I would be spending $20 a week on coffee, and what is that, like 20 times 4? That's like $80 a month on coffee. It's so crazy how much money we spend on coffee. So I completely stopped doing that. I stopped going to Starbucks. I like deleted my Starbucks app, and I either make coffee at home, or my office has coffee also, so I would do either one. And then I also cut back on coffee because, this is just side note, I like stopped drinking coffee because I have heartburn. So just stop drinking coffee maybe, or don't drink it as often. But if you really desperately need it, which I totally understand, just try to make it at home, or try to make it at work if your job offers that, or just try to get like cheaper coffees, because I know Starbucks has like $2 cup of coffees, but it's like the basic ones. So you're gonna have to give up those macchiatos and those frappuccinos and all those fancy ones, which are like $5.50. So if you add up coffee, going out to restaurants, going out to the movies, going out to the bars or the clubs, and going out to whatever other things that young adults do these days, it will add up. So if you just cut all of that out, you're gonna be saving like a couple $100 a month. So my next piece of advice are for those people that have cars and that have to drive every day. There are some ways to save money for gas. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but when you slam on your brakes and when you slam on the gas pedal, that eats up a lot of gas. So just stop doing that. And also, when you do get gas, pay with cash, because I think most of you know this, but when you pay with your card, it's like a little bit more than when you pay with cash. I think on average it's like 10 cents per more. And then I also have another app that will help specifically with finding cheap gas. It is called Gas Buddy. What you do is you can put your location in, and it will scan all the gas stations around you that are closest to you, and it'll like give you a list of the prices of each, so you can compare and see which has the cheapest price. And you can just go to that gas station rather than going to the gas station 2 blocks away that is 10 cents more. So it's just little things like that will really help you save money. Okay, so moving on. I swear I'm almost done talking. I have a couple more things left that I want to mention, but my next piece of advice are for my fellow shopaholics. If you are like me and you would love to shop, especially if you love to online shop, then listen to me. This is like a crazy mentality thing that I figured out a few months ago. It's just like, wow, it really has saved me so much money and helped me to stop shopping so much. So when you are on a website and you put things into your cart, don't check out right away. Leave it in your cart for like a few days. Leave it in for 2 or 3 or even 4 days. And what I always do is I like have a full cart of things, and then I'll close my computer, go to sleep, and then do whatever for a couple days. I will go back on that website in maybe like 2 or 3 days, and I'll look at the cart, and literally half the things in that cart I'll be like, oh god, that's really not cute. you have to really like think about it. So it's, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it has really helped me to not buy things so much. I will go into my cart and I'll find like 3 things that are just so ugly to me when 3 days ago I thought it was so cute. And I would have been pissed if I bought it because I would have received it and I would be like, I don't want this anymore. So that's just a tip. Like, let your mind think about it, let it sit there for a while, and in a week you go back and you know the thing in your cart you still really want, then that means you really want it. So you won't regret that purchase, because I can't tell you how many times in the past I have bought something online and you can't return it because it's like overseas, or the shipping to return it is way too much, and you're just kind of stuck with it because you don't really like it. So don't buy something unless you really, really, really like it, or unless you really, really, really want it. And even if you are really trying to save money, don't buy anything at all. I went through like a really long period of my life, like maybe like 5 months or so, where I literally spent absolutely no money except on necessities that I needed to live. So like gas, you know, metro fares for work, groceries, like obviously my bills that I need, like my phone and like my student loans. Like I had to spend money on those things. But things that I didn't need to spend money on, like getting your nails done, like do your nails at home. That's another thing. Do your nails at home. So I bought a gel manicure kit for like maybe $90, which is pretty expensive. But I bought that like about a couple years ago, and I barely go to the nail salon to get my nails done anymore. Yeah, things like that also. Like getting your eyebrows done, getting your upper lip wax. I'm not gonna lie, I get my upper lip wax. You can buy a Sally Hansen kit at CVS, and it's a little wax kit. You can wax your own lip, you can wax your own unibrow, or whatever else you need to do. So really just try to limit all those beauty things as well. If you really want to save a lot of money, you're gonna have to really sacrifice a lot. I sacrificed a lot the past couple years. I just really became a homebody, honestly. I went through those phases when I was just so obsessed with not spending money, and it sounds really crazy, but when you see your bank account and your savings account go up by you not spending money, it really is so satisfying and it's so pleasurable. It just really shows that, you know, what you're doing is really making a difference, and then you end up making plans and figuring out, you know, what you want to do with that extra money. So it's just a lot of little things that you can do to save money. But really, like I said throughout this whole video, it adds up. That's gonna be like the slogan of this video. It adds up. I compared 1 month that I spent way too much money without giving a hoot, and then 1 month when I literally spent nothing except on necessities to live. And on average, it was like a difference of like $400 I was saving. So that is all for my tips. That was really unorganized in thought. Now that I think about it, I feel like I was just rambling, but hopefully you got something from that. I think you guys know pretty much a lot of the things that I have already said, but I just really wanted to emphasize the really big difference of not wasting money on things you don't need and just saving for things that you really, really want. It's all those little things, putting it all together. Like I said, it adds up. Oh my god, I'm done. I hope you enjoy your day, whether it's nighttime and you're going to bed, or whether it's the morning and you're going to work. Like, have a great day, have a great night. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.